Greetings, mortals of this realm, and we are back with Terraria Calamity playthrough. Revengeance Mage. Hold on. I'm gonna get this right. What is the actual name of this stinking series? Actually, I can put that. Revengeance playthrough as a mage. There. Got it out of my face once. So, we are back with that, and yeah. Now, I named this stream Auric Bird because I thought we were going to be fighting Yaron, but I forgot that Devourer of Gods comes first. I think. Yeah, we didn't kill him. I guess I should turn back on that. Yep. Okay, and we are here. So, turn that on. The light. Alrighty. This is a wonderful weapon. I love it for the vibes. Alright, so in order to make sure that we've got the right stuff, let me make sure I've got the right armor for Devourer of Gods. Okay, so for Poltergeist, I think that's where we are. Yeah, Poltergeist. So for our magic, Blood Flare Hydro, which is where we got what we got. Or Tarragon. But that's a defensive option. Okay. Omega Blue. What is it? That's for the offensive. Huh. Oh, right, it disables health regen. It's just going to be a little bit annoying, I think. Okay, well, we've got the armor that we need, so let's look at the weapons again. And we are looking at Devourer of Gods magic weapons. So we've got those two, plus the one that we've got. Let's look at our accessories. We've got our mobility accessory. We still have the blood pact. We can't upgrade that to the chalice until... Wait a minute. We can make bloodstone cores, can't we? We can upgrade this. No, Ascendant Spirit Essence. Okay, no, we can't upgrade that. Never mind, I'm wrong. So, yes, it's Devourer of Gods. On the right side, once he's defeated, your shield and boots can be upgraded. Yes, and we can upgrade the Blood Pact when he's defeated to the Chalice, because that'll unlock access to the materials for Descendant Spirit Essence. Like you say, I can upgrade my boots to Elysian Tracers from the Cosmolite and Ascendant Spirit Essence stuff. I can upgrade my shield, again with the same. Sigil of Calamitas with the Ascendant Spirit Essence. That doesn't use that, okay. The Deific Amulet is Auric, okay. But yeah. And of course, we're still working towards the Auric Tesla armor. Why are these slimes not damaging me, by the way? You know what I just realized? One of my texture packs must have updated, because these are some fancy stone platforms. That's cool. I like those stone platforms. They're nice. They look a lot more refined, I think. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. That's good. While I've let my mods update, by the way, I've not been affecting their, I've not changed up my mod list or my texture pack list, at least in the past 15 episodes. Except for the thing with the, whatchamacallit, the turning off signature equipment. That I did do. Let me make sure Berwin can't give me anything. Berwin. Nothing I need. I still have the, yeah. Still have the candle from, the other thing. Now let me let me look at the other options they have for what I should have. So they know it has Sigil of Calamitas. Hello, Nonna! Yes, thank you for the wishes of luck. I have the ninja belt. I've got... What does Permafrost Concoction do again? Increases mana and reduces mana cost. Ooh. Ooh. Why am I not using Permafrost Concoction? Probably because I don't know where to put it. Now, the bonus iframes are definitely going to be useful, so I don't want to get rid of that. Now I've just got to figure out what I want to remove in favor of... Yeah, we're losing the Eldritch Soul artifact in favor of the Concoction. Alright, Permafrost. Give me this. It's material for what? Oh yeah, the Glacial Embrace. I usually use the Glacial Embrace for some time after Cryogen. I didn't do it this time. Alright. Now, I also am gonna pop over here. I'm gonna see what, yeah, they're recommending Lunar Portal Staff. Hold on. I think I have that, actually. I need to upgrade my, Sentry, because it's been a relative while. Yeah, there it is. I need to go reforge it. And probably Permafrost too. Oh, no, yeah, the Concoction. Alright, let's see. Wrong. Merchant. You reforge. Boom. Cloaked. No, that's pointless for me. Menacing? Yeah, we'll do menacing. That was menacing. Alright, so we got the Lunar Portal Staff. thought I had 4 previously. Hold on. Was that with this? No. Oh, it was with the soul artifact. Okay. Okay, yeah, I think that trend is going to be the way. Alright. We are going to begin seeing if the Devourer of Gods is defeatable with what we got. So, 3, 2, 1. Oh, right, in his startup, he can't be killed. They get me hurt. Oh, what? I got stuck. What was that? No clue what that was about. Let me let that debuff go down. Yeah, I just literally could not move. Oh, it was the concoction I had gotten encased in an ice barrier. Okay, okay. I could probably teleport out of that, so. Oh, wrong thing. No, I cannot teleport during that time. I also just realized I don't have my heart statues active. How are you today? I'm doing good. How about you, Drake? Okay, yeah, so it helps if you turn on your heart statues, guys. See, if this would do, like, homing, then I think it would be a fairly good, weapon against him. Greetings, I see. You're very tired today, not gonna lie. Ah. Yeah, we all get days like that. Where's the blue slimes? I want to test something. Where is the slim? There's the slim. Yeah, no, the laser doesn't home, so. Oop. Did you build the castle? I did build the castle. It used to be smaller, and then I made it bigger. So, yeah. And that's not even my base. This is my base. Not as cool of a castle, in my opinion, but it has a basement, so it wins. And also has a throne. But yeah, the castle even has it to where I can like make parts of it non-tangible, so that I can fight easier. Being realistic, that's probably enough hearts on the ground. Alright, we are going to fight again and probably fail. Let's see. Don't waste your effort, me. Okay, okay, that's fine. I can just potion up. Oh, goodness, goodness. What on earth was that? That ice lasted too long. Against Devourer of Gods, it seems like that permafrost concoction is just like if you get the hit the ice barrier, it's asking to die almost. Alright, let me look at... Okay, what summons? How are you supposed to be? Ooh. Hold on, there might be something I can get fairly easily using the Stardust Dragon staff, wherever I left that. Or I can make another one of those, I guess. There, well, I need 3 Twisting Nethers for it. Discard mode. A Dark Shard and a Light Shard. And then I'll just make another one of these. So it's the King of Constellations, Tenryu. But it's one of the summons they recommend for this fight for summoners. And it's an upgrade to the Stardust Dragon. Shadow says, "Hey, how's it going? It's going good. How about you?" Currently working on figuring out how to win. Let's see. Pretty good? That's good, that's good. I'm about to craft a Japanese dragon. Two Japanese dragons, actually. Okay, I can't use Permafrost's thing. But I can use that. Yo! Joshua! Man, this is turning out to be one of the best starts I've gotten. Alright, so that... hold on, let me stop that so I can go get reforged. You, reforge. King of Constellations. Not nimble. Masterful. More damage and more knockback. That's what we want to see. So these two are really long dragons. And these worm-type summons are going to be good for fighting a worm-type boss. I think, at least. So, let's try fighting this lizard again. So something I feel like pointing out, even though the staff that I'm using right now is not on the list of things they advise for my class, it is on the same tier as some of the other things they advise, and I like it better. So yeah, that's it. I like it better. So we had to dip a little bit into what they recommended for summon to get these dragons, but we're probably good. So let's fight him. And I anticipate these dragons being a better option than any of the other summons we've tried to use on this fight. I looked away from my health for 1 second, and I died. Okay. Easiest Undertale thing. That's so right, Shadow. See, here's my thinking. If I can deal with, this, then I can make my next stream series about Undertale fan games. Because this is not quite Calamity's hardest attack patterns, but it's close. Drake, the solution is clear, just don't look away. I looked away from my health to look at the fight, and I died, Drake. Like, I thought I was good, a little bit over half health. I have gotten all possible health upgrades, right? Dragon fruit. Need yarn soul fragments in order to make that, and then I've gotten every other consumable. The only other thing, the only consumable that I have that I could technically go get is advanced combat techniques. Don't look away. That's what you get for blinking. Yeah, Joshua. Don't look away. You witness a king's revival and the birth of his new world. I'm sorry, Shadow. I know that's a reference. I'm not certain what that's a reference to. I may know what it's a reference to. Oh, it's Ganondorf. Yep. You're right. You're right. I remember that now. I remember that now. Drake says maybe try winning this time. Well, that's the plan. I'm letting the hearts from the statues collect for a bit. Oh, Silksong is tomorrow, isn't it, Shadow? Yeah, you're right about that. Tomorrow. Wait, by tomorrow, do you mean tomorrow's tomorrow, or... Because I know it's early this month. Okay, Thursday. So it is tomorrow's tomorrow. Okay. See, I knew it was early this month. I just didn't know the precise date. See, I considered streaming Hollow Knight because I've never played it. To try to pull off of the Silksong popularity. What I want to know is why is there no hearts here? Alright. We're just gonna have to roll with it. 3, 2, 1. Oh yeah, some of my dragons. You know, I'm thinking that this trident must not have been in the mod when the guide saying not to use it was made. Or not saying to use it. I died. You want to replay Hollow Knight before Silksong? You have a bet with Icarus that whoever downloads it first wins. That's your roommate, right? So it's not like a internet speed thing. Who downloads it first? It's literally just one of you will download it first, so the other will. Oh, you start popping out parts now? Okay, good. Fun fact, Devour of Gods has a major rework happening eventually. Oh, he's your... Okay. Y'all live in the same dorm though, right? He's gonna be massive. So, Drake, do you know if they're making Devourer of Gods harder or easier? Or just kind of middling? You don't even live in the same, just on campus, okay. Well, Drake, since we don't know if they're making him harder, easier, or about the same, I gotta beat Devourer of Gods before they finish reworking him. I say that like that's not totally feasible. It's gonna be in its own dimension. Oh, are they finally implementing subworlds into Calamity? That'll be neat. What am I missing, sir? What benefits does Arcane Flower have? Oh, it increases magic damage. We haven't seen anything of the distortion yet, though. The reason you're late to this is because you just got back from having dinner with him. Shadow, I've gotten people who were much more late. You're good. You seen the Yeah, I've actually seen some of his resprites too. And I knew there was a rework coming. I just knew you knew more about it. Alright, guys. I'm getting one more drink of coffee, and then we're summoning him again. And, well, refreshing the sentries and then summoning him again. Alright. 3, 2, 1. Oh goodness. You don't know if these are final though. There's so many reworks happening soon, but they were before the Fab Soul incident. Ah. Yeah. Okay. What does vitriol look like? You hope we get Yarn before we're 80. Yeah. Yeah. This isn't the fun way, but unfortunately I think the answer is I gotta keep fighting him until I get it right. Yeah, I'm not certain. Well, phase 2 is when he gets the 2 more guys, right? Hold on, let me look at its phases. No, I haven't gotten to do his second phase. Because he only has the 2 phases, right? Looking at this. Hold on. Blah, blah. So according to the wiki, there are changes that I would like attack pattern changes, which technically are different phases, but it looks like he only has 2 technical phases. One for the first 40% of his health, and then the other for the last 60. So yeah, I haven't gotten to his I haven't finished his first phase yet. Well, I might have gotten to phase 2 at some point in last stream. But even if I did, I didn't fully succeed. Like, I didn't stay in it long enough to even realize what was happening. Because in Revengeance mode, he, summons extra, Cosmic Guardians. Normally he only summons them at 30% in his second phase, but with Revengeance mode, he summons a total of 3. Projectile spam is not too fun, it looks like, with this boss. Yeah. See, what ends up happening is, I'm using up a lot of my flying time to get above his attacks, and then he throws in one of the U-shaped projectile grids. And while that's technically possible to deal with, it's not fun at all. What I really need to do when that happens would be some maneuver like that, where I pull out my broom. But the broom, I don't think is fast enough to react to what he does. I'm not certain I will ever get a a mount that can react except for Dryden's Chair. You do wonder if the rework will be keeping those, considering he's massive in the rework. I had heard of. I don't know. Yeah, no, those projectile nets. Well, I think so. The projectile nets, in my opinion, are a major part of the boss. But I'm like you. I hope they're not in the rework if he's massive. You know. Because they are crazy. But when he dies, we'll get Cosmolite bars. We'll make some stuff. Make like our God Slayer armor or whatever. And some magic weapons, finally. Yeah, and then We'll probably have to kill him once or twice, TBH. I don't like it, but we'll probably have to. Oh yeah, I'm not making Godslayer armor. I'm making Fearmonger, which I'm thinking uses less Cosmolite. So 15. Yeah, it uses a little less Cosmolite. Once he's defeated, the better boots will be ours. Yes, yes. First thing I'm gonna do is upgrade my armor and weapons before I upgrade my accessories. And the reason I say that, I value. So here's the thing: if I up my survivability and the speed at which I kill him before I upgrade my mobility, then the muscle memory I've built up from fighting him the first few times can still apply. So yeah. Like, in theory, it sounds like, yeah, 100% go for the Elysian Tracers first. But I think different. I think differently than that. I don't think that's the right way to go. Okay. I need some water. I'm out of coffee. Your favorite tactic? Hit it till it dies. Yeah, see, Joshua, the thing is... So, I've got all the buffs I know of. And I've got the strongest weapons I am aware of that I can have. But the difference between this and literally any game that you or I would probably prefer playing, the combat isn't turn-based. So it gets to hit me a lot harder and a lot more frequently than I can. I can hit it. You play Mega Man, yeah. And see, let me click into the game so that the heart statues will be working. But, here's my theory behind it, right? It took it from Sora Online to Bridge. Wow. So here's my theory behind fighting this boss. So it's a worm boss, which is notorious in the, Calamity mod. But we've got some pretty good anti-worm boss shenanigans going on right now. So these lunar portals that I summoned, they shoot out lasers that kind of sweep, right? So that's good for dealing with long enemies with a lot of segments. The King of Constellations Tenryu summon, they are worms themselves, which inadvertently makes them really good against worms. I think that's unintentional, but it's 100% something I like. Then, we look at the weapons that they recommend for me to have, right? So, I've got some of them. So, the weapons they recommend for me to have are this Shadow Bolt Staff, which, while it works in theory for piercing a bunch of segments, you don't want to be in perfect line with the boss often enough to make use of that. So, that's down. This, you hit people with it, and then the secondary projectiles home. Could be good, but it's just not what I think I need. One of the bosses that we skipped, Old Duke, he drops the vitriolic scepter. It shoots a arc of spit and fangs, which, okay, yeah, you're almost guaranteed to hit the all projectiles on the worm, but it's, I don't see enough for me to think, yeah, that's definitely what we need to do, right? Then some other options. Fate's Reveal is one that I had. It's the one that summons fire. Let me pop down here. Where did I put Fate's Reveal? Did I throw away Fate's Reveal? I hope I didn't. Did I put it in here? Either way, it's good, but not good enough. That's the point. Don't know about Ghastly Visage. And then there's another one, Dark Spark, which could probably be good, and I might look into getting after, if this try doesn't work. But all that, okay. This staff I'm holding right now, though, is, I think it has the best chance. Because I shoot that. And that big ball of fire lasts for a bit and damages things in its area, including all the segments that enter that area. So I'm dealing a lot of damage, applying a fire debuff. So yeah. All that to say is I think I'm doing the right thing, I just apparently am not. Oh, never mind. It has a specific note that only deals 65% damage to the Devourer of Gods. Are you aware of the boss's gimmick? The sky's color matters. What? What you talking about? Oh, okay, hold on. I'm seeing it now. Skeleton blue, he'll fly around in a circle above air. Okay, he will not attempt to physically attack unless there are noticeable differences off the ground. Can fly through the air, travel through. Okay, so when it's blue, he's not gonna attack. Bright purple descends to the ground, continuously charging the player regardless. He cannot fly in this phase while on the screen, but will gain extremely high acceleration and top speed and will rapidly accelerate to turn around if he strays too far from the target. Disabling infinite flight and reducing flight time by 25%. Oh! Yeah, so when he's blue, he's gonna be flying around up above, not directly attacking, unless I fly too high. But when the sky's purple, he's gonna be rushing at me. Okay, but starting at 60, not 60, 75% health, the sky turns pitch black, making it difficult to tell what movement type he's using. And he spends less time in the blue phase the lower his health is. And then at 60% he goes into his final phase. Okay. Okay. Okay, it would have been nice to know that Venusian Trident has specifically reduced damage. Alright, so what we're going to do now, folks, before we go with our new knowledge, we're going to attempt to acquire the Dark Spark, which is an upgrade to the last prism. Which kind of works in reverse, okay. So, starts converged beams and then splits out. But you know what that means, guys? You know what that stinking means? Since I don't own the last prism, means we gotta go fight Moonlord again. You remember that hullabaloo? Alright. So here's the plan. Fight the Moonlord. Get, get a last prism. Craft it into the Dark Spark. And then maybe be able to win. We'll see. But yeah, it would have been very nice to know the whole reduced damage thing beforehand. Wait a minute, why am I running away? I used invulnerability frames on a weaker attack, from a weaker attack to dodge the laser. Hold on, let me get over here. You don't really know how well Calamity conveys the info about Power of Gods in the game. You're unsure if any NPC mentioned it. Yeah. Yeah, no, you're probably supposed to just notice the, patterns. Oop, there's last prism. Nice. What a toss. Yeah. Alright, last prism. Also, sell a bunch of junk. Yeah, I wonder if it was the, texture pack that's supposed to mimic Calamity that updated, because there's a lot that's changed. Okay, so we need more Dark Plasma. Do we have enough? We need more Ruinous Souls. More. Okay. Dark Plasma is dropped by Ceaseless Void. And Ruinous Souls by Poltergeist. Alright. And as I've already said, Drake, I disagree with you on that point. I like that retexture of the Moon Lord. Otherwise, I wouldn't have left the thing on. Speaking of the Ceaseless Void, you've also heard he's getting redesigned eventually. Not really a fan of what you've seen. I need to look into that because evidently you and I have different ideas about other designs, so could be worth seeing. Oh. I almost wonder if the granted my design has been the same for like 7 years, you're gonna be more skeptical of a new one. Yeah, well, I'm not the biggest fan of the Ceaseless Void's design right now anyways, so that might be why I'm more open to something new. Bold claim from a Pokemon fan to want something new. Well, yeah, especially since I'm one of the ones who wishes they would just bring back all the regional mechanics. So, even then, like, I don't dislike any of the regional mechanics that they've made. Like, I understand that people dislike some because they're not as good as the original, the Mega Evolution. But I'm not specific to just Mega Evolution, really. I mean, yeah, Mega Evolution's probably the best mechanic they've ever made. But that doesn't mean it's the only one that's viable for bringing back, in my opinion. You're not a fan of Gen 8, it's just Mega Evolution Light. technically it's Mega Evolution Mega because it's giant. And that's the thing. I think the biggest reason why the regional gimmicks aren't received well is it's not because any individual one is bad. It's because they're not Mega Evolution. They did too good the first time. I keep running straight into those. You like terrestrialization, the ability to literally change your type is insane. Yeah, and like you say, it's also not regional, you can do it anywhere. Yeah, that was the thing about Gigantamax. It's not just regional, it's per stadium. Now, I think probably I'm of the opinion that that because of Mega Evolution, no regional mechanic can be seen outside of the context of Mega Evolution. Like, Dynamaxing, so not Gigantamaxing, Dynamax it's useful for every Pokemon, right? It's a tactical option every Pokemon can access. Gigantamaxing, sure, it's specific, but it's like Mega plus Dynamax. But instead of getting a stat boosts compared to Dynamax, they just get a Z move. Like a unique Z move. If that makes sense. Sorry, one moment. I'll catch back up after I probably die or win. No in between. Ah! Oh, right, I should put my sentries down. In Horizons, they do both Mega Evolve and Terrestrialize. Yeah, now, if you had to pick at the start of your battle, which gimmick do I want to use? I think that would be fair, right? Maybe you could pick two gimmicks, like you could do in Sun and Moon. Like, imagine Dynamax Mega Charizard. Or Gigantamax Mega Charizard. Honestly, the only Pokemon game you still play these days is Go. Then you have no... This is a little bit of a hot take, but I don't consider Pokemon Go a real... It sounds bad, I'm gonna explain. I don't consider it a real Pokemon game because it's a spin-off, right? So it's like how Mario Party isn't a quote-unquote Mario game because it's part of a different series. It's a different genre, it's a different thing. Pokemon Go, yeah, it's a valid game, but it's not... The fan bases can be entirely different. There's not necessarily overlap. Careful Sage Pokemon Mystery Dungeon is a spin-off and it's peak. And you're right, yeah, it's a spin-off, and it is amazing. But but it's not necessarily appealing to the exact same crowd as the Pokemon mainline games. Now, I will say this other opinion I have. If you don't play the mainline games, you don't technically have the experience to critique its mechanics. Because Mega Evolution even works different in Pokemon Go. You know. So... Oh, goodness. Keep losing track on where he is. You seen how the mainline works, though? You just haven't chosen to waste my money on it. That's another thing. If you consider the mainline games a waste of money, then perhaps... I don't know. If it's a waste of money to you... No, let me say this how I mean it. Yes, the games are expensive. But if you do not have experience... one should always be careful not to overly critique something he does not have experience with. You can relate stories that you've heard about a thing, as long as you make it clear that it's stories you've heard about the thing, but it does the thing itself a disservice to speak poorly without proper knowledge of it, you know? At least that's my opinion on the matter. Drake, don't listen to Pokemon fan opinions. With all due respect, most of their opinions are garbage. This is true. Most Pokemon fan opinions are garbage with very little proper intellectual integrity. Like, people hated on terrestrialization for so long because I will admit at a certain point it kind of just feels lazy. And people hated on Gen 9 because of bugs at launch. But that's the thing. There are other people's opinions. Like Joshua said, trust your own opinion. People have different metrics by which they gauge games they play, and I don't know. Gen 9 was rushed, but you wouldn't lie if you didn't have... If you said you didn't have fun. Yeah, you would... Pokemon is an experience. If you've been playing most of your life, then most likely you'll have fun playing because it's Pokemon. The gimmick won't matter. At the end of the day, the gimmick does not matter. You shouldn't. Yeah, buying used games is risky on Switch. You've heard people getting their consoles bricked from using used games. I believe that's only Switch 2 right now. Technically. But yeah, I get your point. Nintendo's got their own little drama going. Yeah, but like, it's currently, I've only heard of it happening on Switch 2 because of the additional unnecessary protections. Yeah, and it's not even the game has been hacked. It's the game was put on a card so that the person could just access all their games from one card. That's the scenario that's happening. That's getting the games flagged. I'll be back after I finish this, guys, sorry. This void needs to cease. Okay. Let's see. Also, Nintendo can't actually brick it unless you actively cheat on online competitive games. The console is yours, it's literally legal to brick it. Basically, the card has been tampered with, they can flag your brick console. So, actually, Joshua, I've seen some things related to that. According to Nintendo's terminology, you don't actually own your console. You own the right to use it. Now, here in America, you could probably get something in the in court said based on a reasonable expectation of a purchase, but that would require so much in court fees. Just to get up to a level where that's relevant. Joshua, what I think Nintendo's trying to say is you don't even have the rights for purchasing the product. Like the rights that you're supposed to have for having purchased that product. You just have the rights to use it in the way they specify. One moment, I'll catch up. I'm sorry for getting in these conversations and these boss fights simultaneously. Okay, let's see. If that's the case, you'd need to double check because that's insane levels of anti-consumer practices, like actual rob. Yes, it is. Yeah. So now, of course, some of my knowledge is most likely dramatized sources. However, the understanding I have gained from those tells me that the way Nintendo sees it, when you purchase a Switch 2, you do not purchase the device, you purchase the rights to use it and play their games on it. And that's it. You don't own the hardware in the way you do any other console. So, any other console, you can mod it however you need to or want to because it's your property. Now, you may not be allowed to use online services as that would go against the licenses or whatever, right? Which is reasonable, but you can't do that with the Switch, supposedly. Now, I haven't read their actual license agreements, so I could just be saying a bunch of junk that I heard once and is wrong. But that is my understanding of it. Yeah, most people already mod it. Oh, okay. Well, good then. Drake, we are fighting the gas because I want to make the Dark Spark, which is crafted from the last prism, which is made with Ruinous Souls, and I don't have enough Ruinous Souls. You can't play online. Yeah, but if I'm correct, doesn't it stop you from playing online permanently, even after unmodding it? But that's why you buy 2 cons. I ain't paying them $900. I'm sorry. Alright. So now let's go fight the Poltergeist so that we can get the Ruinous Souls so we can win. And to think this line of conversation started due to Pokemon. Yeah. It's what they do. Modders are crazy, man. Yeah, I mean, they are. And, you know, they probably got it. The really dedicated modders most likely either are someone or know someone who had early access to the console. So, yeah. Pokemon is how you start war. Yeah! I think Pokemon started right after a war, didn't it? Just name drop it. Like, seriously though, I think Red and Blue are supposedly set soon after a war. Alright, we're fighting Poltergeist again. This time we'll beat him. And no, I have no real authority to say that we're gonna beat him. Other than hope. Those are projectiles. They hurt. Ow. That's contact damage. It hurts more. You don't know if that's canon. Pokemon lore is so convoluted these days. Well, there was the war Carlos fought with another nation. Yeah. Wars in Pokemon gotta go insane. Yeah, see, I think the idea that Red and Blue started right after a war was from Lieutenant Surge with his My Pokemon Saved Me During the War line. I think that's where we get that. I know that this works, so I'm just gonna use that. The war crimes go insane too. Yeah, yeah. Pokemon war crimes. Mm. You know, there's even been fan stories like Red really being some sort of biologically engineered Pokemon battling fiend for war. You remember there's the Gauntlet one, but isn't that a parallel universe or something? As only some games have Mega Evolution. So I think the war is canon to both universes, or both timelines, but the detonation of the weapon that ended it is only the Mega Evolution timeline. Now, there are theories that the crater in Paldea was caused by the ultimate weapon, and thus, technically, Scarlet and Violet would be in the Mega Evolution timeline, even though you didn't technically get the Mega Stones in that game. Mega Weapon most definitely led to the creation of some international law. Oh, yeah. It was probably equivalent to a nuclear arms deal thing. It had gone through Gen 6 and so long. Yeah, so you get the timeline shenanigans from Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. I think particularly its post-game. The Delta episode. I could be wrong. You could get some of it in the main game. But, you get the stuff about the... I thought it was called the Ultimate Weapon, but either way. Whoa, what is this about timelines? Shadow. Mega versus non-Mega timeline, remember? Or universe. It's something, it's either parallel universes or timelines. That was a theory, yes. I think it was a meteor. That was the origin of terrestrialization. Yeah, I think the theory was that the meteor was really the ultimate weapon. Shadow, you need to play through Auraz again. It's either timeline or universe. Pokemon does have a lot of aliens. Deoxys is an alien. Alright, we're gonna fight Poltergeist now. No, we're gonna wait for the dog to come back. I'm gonna go down here where I don't have the water cable. Okay. You never played through Auras in the first place? Yeah, that's where you get the timeline shenanigans. Pokemon has timeline shenanigans. Or it's either timeline or Joshua, so the way I heard the theory going, so the ultimate weapon was derived by AZ, and it is both the source of Mega Evolution, but also, like, it let him revive his, Floette or something, and so, hold on, let me pause it. So, he revived his Floette, he made Mega Evolution by accident, but I think that was the detonation of the ultimate weapon that caused Mega Evolution. Drake, the Rainbow Rocket stuff, that, yes, it's technically timeline shenanigans, but it's ultimately it doesn't matter. Yeah, so, Shadow, in Auraz, let me look it up now. Hold on. Hold on, guys. We're getting a Pokemon history lesson now. Alright, let me pull up a Pokemon Wiki. No, we're going to Bulbapedia. Bulbapedia! Mega Evolution. It might be under history. Alright, give me one moment. I'm gonna set up something to where y'all can see the thing, but I need to set up in such a way that y'all don't see all of my stuff. So let me grab a window capture. Yeah. We'll grab this. Okay. Then we'll crop that. And that. And that. Oh, not what we wanted to do. What? Hold on, why does the window capture disappear? Let me delete it and make a new one. Window capture. Okay. Why are you... Okay, hold on. I can't do it like that. There we go. There, Let's crop it down there so we can make it bigger. Okay, so this is the thing on Mega Evolution. Yeah, you just said not even the game knows. Yeah, technically not even the game knows. So, this is probably what we, okay, so that's what they believe in Hoenn. Okay, so the meteorite thing came from Oraz, where, Sage's me, Drake. The meteor thing came from Oraz, where the Megastones rained on Hoenn from a meteorite Rayquaza destroyed. That's technically a canon explanation of where they came from. What this says, Sycamore theorizes that Mega Evolution came from evolution stones that were irradiated by Xerneas and Yveltal that was fired from the ultimate weapon 3,000 years ago. So, basically what X and Y claimed, the ultimate weapon, which was powered by Xerneas/Yveltal, was either used evolution stones as their power source or ammo or something, or maybe it's components. Either way, those evolution stones turned into Megastones. Let's see, what else does it say? Let's see, anything else that it says that I've forgotten? According to, hold on, ultimate, let's look at the page for the ultimate weapon. No, you're good, Drake. It's not your fault that this can of worms is opened. So yes, Joshua, there's two proposed origins. The people of Oraz believe that of the Oraz game, the Draconid people. Yes, of course. Shadow, we completely derail this entire stream for Pokemon lore. So the Draconid people say that it came from a meteor that Rayquaza destroyed. Sure, some Megastones most likely came from that. In Pokemon X and Y, the claim is that the ultimate weapon, which was powered by Xerneas/Yveltal's energy, basically had a radiation effect on certain evolution stones that transformed them into Megastones. Now, about the timeline stuff, this is actually what we came to. One moment. Where does it say about the timelines? Because that was also in Auras. Oh, well, you just enjoy some delicious Parmesan cheese. Yes, of course, of course. Parmesan cheese is the thing to enjoy. Give me a moment to look back at the thing here. Let me see if trivia has what we're looking for. No, probably not. No, that's gonna be trivia about that. Okay, so makes sense since Deoxys is an alien, Ultra Beasts are aliens, Octoreges is an alien, Dynamax Stones are alien, Terrestrialization is alien. Now, I don't know about Terrestrialization. I've seen plenty of sci-fi vibes to believe, yeah, it is. Now, I'm not seeing it here, but hold on. Surely it's gonna be here. Let me pop over to the Delta episode page. The more you think about it, Pokemon's had a lot of parallel universe nonsense. Gen 7 had Ultra Space and Temple of the Sun Moon thing. So the Temple of the Sun Moon thing is parallel universe. Ultra Space isn't technically. It's a mix between multiverse and just literal space. Alright, time, no, of course it's not gonna say timeline. Da 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 da. Oh, I think I remember it now. Okay, so, if I'm correct, what happens in the Delta episode, so, the idea of an alternate timeline where Mega Evolution doesn't exist is teased, and that has been accepted as the reason why Mega Evolution doesn't exist in other games. So, it's like, I think what happened was while Zinnia in one lab or whatever was discussing the history of Mega Evolution according to her people's lore, she had been like, what if there was another world where that didn't happen, you know? Drake, you say, is it not parallel universes? Ultra Ruin was a destroyed Earth with Guzzlord on it. As far as I'm aware, there's no direct statement on that. Let me check. Hold on. Let me pull up her page just so I can say. Ultra Space. Ultra Space. Interdimensional realm via Ultra Wormhole. Okay. So Ultra Space, that doesn't tell. So it is different dimensions. Whether those are parallel or not, is up to interpretation. People think that Ultra Ruin, where Guzzlord appears, is a parallel, like, Holy City. But I don't know. The rest don't seem to be, as far as I'm aware. So, yeah. Okay, it gets stranger. There is a trainer with a Mega Evolved Lucario, you think, before the ultimate weapon. So, here's my theory, okay? My theory is this. Some Mega Stones came from the meteor that Rayquaza destroyed. Some Mega Stones came from being irradiated by Yveltal and Xerneas' power. Some Mega Stones just were. But there's another thing. Hey, do y'all know about Ash Greninja? Ash Greninja, at least in the anime, was stated to be his Battle Bond form was stated to be somewhat similar to Mega Evolution. So combine that. Shadow, you can get Keystone and Mega Stones in Sun and Moon. Yeah, so Ash Greninja is supposed to be somewhat like a Mega Evolution. And then, you also know that Rayquaza can Mega Evolve as long as the bearer has a Keystone, regardless of his held item. That's why he was banned from competitive, by the way, because a Mega Pokemon who can have something like a Choice Scarf that already has the highest base stat total of any Pokemon in the game. That's more than y'all probably wanted to know. But, so, you've got Greninja, who can effectively Mega Evolve without a stone. You've got Rayquaza, who's shown that proper Mega Evolution without a Mega Stone is feasible. You got it, Sage. Is life energy. Both are right. That's the reason why Ultimate Weapon created Mega Stones, because they had life energy. Pokemon used that to evolve beyond a level. Yes, because the Ultimate Weapon's power source was retconned in Auras to be Infinity Energy. Which you learn in Auras to be energy harvested from the death of Pokemon. It's in, like, C Mauville that you learn that. So it is life energy, and so probably a pretty decent theory, I would say. The Keystone and Megastone kind of more accurately link the bond between trainers, but with a sufficient bond like Ash had with his Greninja, or with sufficient power like Rayquaza has, you can just Mega Evolve without a stone. It can bridge the gap without having to use the stone, perhaps. But basically, it's an explosion of life energy that lets the Pokemon go Super Saiyan. Guess it means that they're alien in origin, but you can also create Megastone artificially. Yeah, the weapon is literally powered by Pokemon using Pokemon as living batteries. That's the big Pokemon graveyard was in X and Y. So, Joshua, I don't think Megastones are alien, but I don't think they're necessarily native to Pokemon's Earth. What's probably more accurate is saying that Megastones are a thing that exist in the Pokemon universe that are not necessarily native to any one world. Like how oxygen is... they fell from space. They don't have paper to be in the sky. They did, but the ones in X and Y didn't fall from space. They were evolution stones before, which we know at least some evolution stones are mined. I don't remember where, but we know some of them are mined, I think. So, I guess what I'm saying is... So, I don't think they count as being artificially created in that context. I think it's more like a fact of science in the Pokemon universe, like how rock is rock. Megastone exist and can be... and comes about when sufficient life energy is imbued into otherwise evolutionary stones. Now, I don't exactly know the lore behind keystones. That would be something, but yeah. And then to circle back to the Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon with the Rainbow Rocket thing. Rainbow Rocket's stuff where they had timeline shenanigans, that wasn't technically, as one would say, timeline shenanigans, because we don't care about what happened to the timelines afterwards. Those are timelines where the various villains succeeded, and so Giovanni picked them up while he was hurtling through mega space or whatever. And yeah, he built the ultimate team of evil. They can lose energy, so you need to restore it. Yeah. Yeah, so somewhere on here it says they can lose energy. They were created as a side effect of a particular phenomenon. It's possible that the ones from space were also affected by some phenomenon that turned them into Megastone. Yeah. It's a phenomenon that happens. It's not necessarily something that is alien or native to our planet. It just is. It happens. I guess that's what I'm trying to... I think it's too shallow. It's too shallow of digging to say it's alien. They're just a fact of science in the Pokemon world, as far as I'm concerned. Alright, are y'all ready to try to beat Poltergeist now? Yes, Shadow, it's a chemical reaction. Evolution Stone plus Infinity Energy equals Megastone. And it stays in that supercharged state for an indeterminate amount of time, possibly related to the amount of Infinity Energy applied to it. But also, you see this base stat total, guys? When you have 100 in everything, and then 180 in speed, that's crazy. Okay. I'm gonna... Wait, no. Was that speed or was that special defense? No, that was special defense, I think. Yeah. No, that was physical defense. Unless that was special attack. What? Hold on. No, that was special... Why does he have that much in special attack? I'm gonna stop questioning Mega Pokemon stats now. Alright, are y'all ready to go back to playing Terraria? But, yeah, Rayquaza is busted. Mega Rayquaza is busted. They banned him from tournament play very quickly. And rightly so. Maybe ZA will give us a... No, Joshua, I think ZA will just confuse us more. I think ZA will just give us more questions. I just used my stinking... whatever. We're not gonna wait until I haven't used my, thing. Oh, that's the wrong staff. There we go. By the way, this staff worked last time, that's why I'm using it. Okay. Let's see. You love that the wiki even says this section is incomplete if the people... I don't know what that word is. Fans don't have the answers you give up. You probably won't be playing ZA unless you hear really good things. Your brother plans on playing it though. You'll be getting ZA because you do have a soft spot for XY as your first mainline game. You want Bonanza, maybe not day one, but definitely at some point. You were a Fire Red guy. I also want the Donkey Kong game. Okay, that's caught up. So I probably am gonna look into getting ZA if it's on the Switch 1. I may not get it day one. I don't have a capture card right now, so I don't have plans on streaming it. But I do want to get it eventually. Is on the Switch 1? Okay, good. Good. That's what I wanted. That's what I was hoping. So yeah, I definitely do want the game. I do also really want the Legends Arceus, because I haven't gotten that yet, but oh well. I think it runs on 5 frames per year, 24p by 36p. Wow. Yeah, that's probably gonna be fun. Do I have 20 of those now? Yes, okay. Now we need to go kill Providence again. But yeah, I probably wouldn't get it. Maybe you're just overly negative, but with all the negative stuff you've seen for Gen 8 and onward, you haven't really wanted to buy them. You've been trying to be informed as you can on them. Yeah, but like we were talking about earlier, you can be informed, and people are still going to be wrong. If you enjoy them, though, more power to you. Yeah, see, I really enjoyed Sword and Shield, personally. I am crazy, probably, but it's funny that there's so much negativity, yet they sell more every year. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Pokemon fans don't even believe what they say. Because if they did, Pokemon would stop selling. That's just a fact. Alright, I'm gonna fight Providence one more time because I need more Divine... Wait. It's Divine Geodes I need. Hold on. Alright. She's the only way to get Divine Geodes. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, I don't believe it when people say that they actually have complaints about Pokemon because you buy the game, so like at a certain point, just be quiet and play the games. Oh. I'll catch up after boss fight. I'm sorry, guys. I keep doing this. There. One of your friends complains on the new gens each time, but keeps buying them. Like, if you want to change, vote with your wallet. Yeah, this is good. The way you describe your opinion on Sword and Shield is that it felt like the first half of a great game. It was just missing the second half. It's a good half a game, but still only half a game. Sword and Shield are not bad. You like some things, but some things were meh. You like the direction better than in Star. Yeah, see, the thing is, I never thought that Sword and Shield was a bad game. Perhaps it wasn't up to the standard that we expect from Pokemon. It wasn't as good as Gens 4 or 5, maybe, which one of those was my first one. I don't remember which one. But that doesn't mean that the whole thing was evil. Especially when you compare it to Scarlet Violet's launch day. Textures Gen 9 don't add up. Yeah. I think they had good intentions with Gen 9's textures. Yeah. They had good intentions. Alright, we have finally gotten the Dark Spark. When you saw the problems with Sword and Shield, you didn't buy it. The Pokedex thing was the real deal breaker. What Pokedex thing made you not buy Sword and Shield? So with every legendary mythical. Oh, you didn't. You've run out of Parmesan. The decks. Okay. People complain, in my opinion, far too much about the lack of a proper national dex. Because, like, what do you expect? They had nearly 1,000 Pokemon at that point. I don't know. That just seems like... It seems like the wrong thing to be complaining about any given thing. There were already hundreds of Pokemon. Unless there was one that was like your specific favorite that didn't get included, then maybe I would understand. But I don't know. Okay, Sage, you're saying the truth, and I agree. Problem is, Pokemon fun is not... Home is not free. Yeah, there should be better transport. There should. There should have always been a better transport system, or they should have never gotten us used to a transport system. I personally think they never should have gotten us used to a transport system. Maybe it's dumb to you, but I care about keeping my collection. See, that's what I'm saying. They should never have introduced players to a transport system because it set standards that they aren't ready to maintain properly. Alright, I'm gonna fight the Devourer of Gods now. Oh. Yeah, I understand the sentiment, but if we continue having every single Pokemon included in every game, it would eventually get to a point where it takes so much of the game stays. Yeah. Like, okay, so I get the thing about you have built up the dex, your living dex over multiple games. His mouth is insta-kill? Yeah, I think it's supposed to be. So I understand that you've built up your dex over multiple games, but I think it was a mistake of Pokemon to getting us used to having a transfer system. I think it discourages using the newer Pokemon overall, because it's almost like, why use the newer Pokemon when I could just use my older ones? Drake, the difference is a lot more data is associated with having Pokemon in a mainline game than Pokemon Go. And also, Drake, most of Pokemon Go's data is stored on the web. Most of Pokemon game's save data, like your Pokemon, is saved on the device. That's true, Sage. Whenever I play a new gen, I have a rule to only use new ones. Yeah, see, I don't place that necessarily rule on myself, but the game design encourages that, right? So by putting more of the newer Pokemon at the front of the game, like it does, it encourages you. Use the new ones. And I usually take that encouragement. And like, yeah, I might pick up a Pokemon. It's especially true with Gen 5. Yeah, try finding a old Gen Pokemon in Gen 5. Before the post game. But Gen 9 too, yeah, like I played a little bit of Gen 9 and the majority of encounters, like, yeah, there's all the repetitive ones, but you see a lot of the new Pokemon. And for someone who's played a lot of Pokemon, it's like, oh, why not try the new ones, right? Because let's be honest, who picks, like, Skiploom at the start? You love Tinkatink? I haven't gotten that far. I probably would keep Tinkatink on my team after it's evolved, you know. Garganacle's one that I'll probably, if I boot up my game again soon, I'll probably work towards picking up. Because he looks cool. Like, seriously. Who doesn't like having a giant salt golem on your side? Crazy people, that's who. And then, like, for starters on, Scarlet and Violet, I'm not a fan of their starters. Alright, I will admit that. I chose Quaxley because A, I'm a water type supremacist. B, I didn't really want any others. Shadow, you know what I'm talking about. So, like, when I'm picking a starter, I look at its final stage, usually. So, like, the Fuecoco line, I'm not a fan of its final form. I don't remember what it's called right now. I see how people would like it. It's just not my favorite. Meowscarada, I'm mostly just salty at this point that Game Freak can't seem to make a magician Pokemon without having it also be female-toned. Yeah, Skeledirge. I'm just salty because they've had 2 chances, and both of them have been female-toned. Quackavole, he was just the only option left, and also Water Supremacy. Greninja's your favorite starter by far. You are not alone in that opinion. Greninja's definitely high-rated starters for me. Samurott is probably one of my favorite starters overall. Like, I think he outranks Greninja, but there is that nostalgia factor. You know what? I think Torterra might be my favorite starter. Let me think on that real quick. Yeah. Skeledirge having a second soul in the shape of a bird, man in flame, is just so cool. Yeah, I can see how it's cool. Yeah. Yeah, no, Torterra's my favorite starter. Took me that long it took me years to realize that, but yeah. All right, let's see if we can fight this worm. Oh, you Piplup. Shadow, See, I know that there is controversy with Typhlosion. However, I managed to miss everything but the outrage about the controversy. I haven't even seen what the controversy is about, but I don't think I want to. Yeah, I know it's not canon, so I don't care really. Like, I'm not offended that I don't know what it's about. None of the Gen 8 or 9 starters speak to you, honestly. Gen 8. Yeah, okay, sorry, I just had to remember which games that was. It was unused lore stuff, yeah. For Gen 8, I picked Rillaboom. And it was more of a thing of Inteleon was too skinny. What's his name? I want to say Charcadet, but no, that's wrong. Scorbunny's final evolution. Yeah, no, that's why I gathered Joshua. Scorbunny's final evolution was 2 soccer, and then Rillaboom was the only one left. It's like back lore. Yeah. Let a series go on long enough, and it'll have old, wrong lore. Conserve. Cinderace. Okay, that must have been autocorrect on you. Yeah, Cinderace. Cinderace. I'm not a fan of his vibes. Back before the Pokedex news, you would have picked water as you always do, but never bought the game. Yeah. Wow. You like the unused water rabbit. You want him back. I think they should redo some of their unused designs more frequently. Now, some of my more recent Pokemon playing. This is a random plug, alright? For something I'm not even involved in. Have you guys heard of Poke-Engine? I think I've said something about it before in the Discord. Basically, it's a community-hosted, community-created Pokemon MMO. You start on this hub island, and you travel to other regions via airport. So they've got a region for Retro Kanto, which is like original Red and Blue Kanto. They've got one for Hoenn, which is not... Most of the regions aren't finished, or they're small. One of the two. But they've got one for Hoenn, which is half done. There's one in progress for, like, a sequel to the Gen 4 games that's in Sinnoh. And then they've got a bunch of fan regions, but it's all fan-made stuff. I just think it's cool. Especially because usually after completing the region, you unlock what they call Global PC for that region, where you can take your Pokemon out of that region and take it to the hub world, and then do stuff there with them. That's been some of my more recent Pokemon playing, though. That and Pokerogue. Pokerogue's fun, too. You should look it up if you haven't. Did a couple streams on that. Maybe I'll bring that back after I finish Terraria. You need to play more Pokemon fan games? Yeah, well, so Pokerogue is literally just a Pokemon roguelike in your browser. So it's probably the easiest one to access. Poke-Engine, you do have to join their Discord in order to authenticate for playing, but you can leave right after. And then you just... It's got a bunch... It's basically just a bunch of fan games. Drake, what are your 2 favorite Gen 1 Pokemon? Yours are missing. Mewtwo and Missing No. Game audio seems to be off. It shouldn't be. OBS tells me it's here. There's just not much going on. You don't think you'll like Pokerogue without the exploration and adventuring? You'll get bored. Yeah, well, in that case, Poke-Engine would appeal to you more, but a lot of it is unfinished. Game audio is fine. I think it's just quiet, or maybe you've tuned it out because it's just the night music. But Yeah, it doesn't have the adventuring. But Poke Engine sounds like your thing. Yeah, see, this is a little bit of a, I said something, this is how I introduced Poke Engine to the Council Discord. I'm spearheading a project that may end up putting a Council Pokemon fan game on, a Council-themed Pokemon fan game on Poke Engine. I actually need to check. Ooh. Oh, I've got pings. Hold on. I won't check those yet. Let me pull up the Poke Engine thing. No, I don't know if I'll be able to see. Anyways, they've got a thing where you have to submit to be a region maker. I don't think they've opened that up yet again. I'll have to look into it eventually, but we don't have enough sprites to even petition a collection, I don't think. Yeah, you voted, I remember. Yep, I shared that to the public council because votes. We haven't made the region yet. We need more sprites before we can even ask them if we can put our region on their place. But alright, let's try to kill this worm. Okay, purple, so he's about to start charging. He's coming. Yeah, his mouth is in his tail. Sorry for your more negative view on this. You hope it makes some sense. Yeah. Say, just become a PokeTuber. Give it up. Yeah. See, I want to finish this series. Okay. One moment. I need to think about something. Yeah, no, Drake, your takes are valid. I have some issues with what Pokemon has allowed, which kind of lead to some of the opinions, but I might be stuck for this next tutor. Well, Devour of Gods is a difficulty spike. Yeah, see, what I'm considering is turning it off of Revengeance for this fight. Because I considered that earlier. And then I remembered I did the same consideration on not Empress of Light, Profane Providence. And I eventually got through with Muscle Memory and Tenacity. But wait. Also, what Pokemon? Oh! Drake, what I was saying is what the Pokemon games have allowed, like, the habit of bringing your Pokemon between games. I think that is a thing that is overall not as good for the series. Like with Pokemon Home or Transfer or whatever. I don't think that's good for the series to encourage the use of new Pokemon. Because that means they can no longer truly lock Pokemon behind anything. It's a crutch. Yes, it's a crutch. It's a crutch because players are more often going to take the easy way out of simply bringing their overpowered, overleveled legendaries. That's one hot take you agree with, Sage. Yeah, like, so it is too late. I agree. It is too late, and you just like keeping your collection you worked for. See, but that's a thing, right? If Game Freak had never let you transfer that collection over between games, you wouldn't have that expectation, right? Now, your concern there then may have been with Sword and Shield. Oh, I can't catch my favorite Pokemon. That is a different matter entirely. But the matter of I can't bring my progress from another game into this one, I don't think it's something that is really a valid thing that they should have. I don't think that's a worry they should have let happen. Like, these mythicals aren't available in each generation. That's a different matter. I think that the way that Pokemon handles Pokemon distributions is dumb. This is said as someone who this is said as someone who, because he A, didn't know about all of the distributions, B, didn't have the capacity to go to the places to get all the distributions. I think the way they do mythical Pokemon distributions is dumb. Mystery gifts should not be the way they give them out, and it should not be go to this place type events. You hate mythical distributions, the empty spots on your living decks is because of it. Yeah, like, okay. I don't think that every game should have every mythical. That is unfeasible. But I think that mythicals should be obtainable without having specific event stuff. At least in Scarlet and Violet they fixed it. How did they fix it? You think Aura's hit it well by making Deoxys available in the Delta episode? Yeah, Deoxys, the way you got Deoxys was good. You write a code or get a mystery gifting game, that's it. It's easy. Well, see, the thing is, the way I wish they would do it, alright, and I know they're not going to do it this way, but this is just a gamer hoping, right? Used to, they did things where, you went to a place, you got a special thing added to your game, and then that unlocked quests to get the mythical, like with Darkrai, for example. I prefer the second half of that. You go on a quest to get the Pokemon. I don't like there being an event tied to it. I would prefer if, now that they can just do wireless updates, since they can just do wireless stinking updates to say, okay, now we added this content or that content. I wish they just updated the game to have the quests, and then resetting your save file wouldn't stinking lose the opportunity to get the Pokemon either. There are no GameStops here. You had to ask people in the US to get you codes. I think every way they've done mythical distribution is dumb. Because it was always time event based. Codes or otherwise. Whether it's codes or in-person distribution events. That's not how you do it, in my opinion. Yes, I understand it's marketing. Yeah, but if it's just an update, there wouldn't be the fear of missing out and they make less money. I was about to get to that, Drake. Um, but as far as I'm concerned, their profits can drop to the ground deep. I don't care. Alright, I'm gonna fight the Devourer of Gods now. And maybe not get hit by his head? We'll see. Ow. Get down, get down, get down. He's going purple, he's going purple. It's black now, so I don't know. I just need to stick to the ground and die. Okay, guys, I think I've decided I'm gonna turn off. If turning off Revengeance mode for this fight doesn't fix it, then I'm turning it back on and dealing with the fact that I'm a skill issue. If it does fix it, then I'm turning it back on after this fight and we're not talking about it. Okay, he's going through the portal. Okay, he's coming out. It's not over yet, he says. Okay, now I can see his length on my mini-map. That's mildly more intimidating, knowing how long he is. Oh. Ah. Okay, so that was a lot easier. I think it's feasible to complete it like this. Without major skill issue problems. I'm gonna try the trident. Just to be safe. Glad we can have this conversation in a civil manner. You know, discussing Pokemon can get rather heated. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry for how combative I was, because I was combative, so I'm sorry. Alright, let's fight him again. Oh, he's purple now. I feel like he was targeting me before this guy turned purple, but oh well. Oh, I don't get rage and adrenaline boosts in... Oh, I died. How did I die there? Where did water go? Wait, what? Why did I set you down here on the floor? Okay, so not quite sure what killed me there. Dark Spark definitely is going to be the way, it looks like. I love it. I just realized he applies different debuffs depending on the phase. So even when the sky is black and it's hard to tell what phase he's in, I can just look at the debuff. Okay, so it went up, so he is now in his passive phase. He is now in his aggressive phase. I am almost dead. I am almost dead. Okay, that's his portal. Although, honestly, there is one thing I'd like to see in another Pokemon game eventually. I'd love to see more of Ultra Space eventually. There's so much untapped potential there. Yeah, there is. I'm sure the new environments they can make would be cool. Gotta admit, Ultra Space is the coolest thing for Sun and Moon. It makes me want to see more of those worlds. You started humming, and I thought those were chuckles of lost sanity percent. Oh, no, that's... What just happened is what laughter of lost sanity sounds like, if I had sanity to begin with. So, I've gotten into his second phase several times now. Does it help? Not at all. Maybe just stop having issues of skill. Oh. If there was a medicine I could take to stop being a skill issue, I'd have a prescription for it. Okay. No. It's not my gear. At this point, it isn't my gear, even. It's just skill issue. We're only keeping Revengeance mode off for this boss fight. This is technically still a Revengeance mode playthrough. As long as I can convince myself it is. Devourer of Gods is just not where it's at. Okay. Terraria, Calamity. Tips. I'm looking at Reddit. Wait a stinking minute. Shadow, that was my phone. John Reddit says run. Well, okay, he says how very ominous. So, one moment. I need to swap to my speakers because my headphones are hurting my ears right now. Apologies, that sound probably wasn't pleasant. And also apologies for echo that may occur. My ears are not happy right now, so that's why I had to change that. So here's what they suggest. You know what we were doing for the Moon Lord? Yeah, they basically just suggest that we run. So let's go. Never mind. Oh, right, they said with more speed buffs. Hold on. Hold on. Yeah, I should still keep this guy in mind. Why did I let you stay silent? I guess I just need to have that one unlucky. Also had a worrying thought. Uh-oh. After Yarm, there are two planned super bosses, Noxus and Zarok. What if they both end up being worms? I think I've seen some fan fights of them, and I don't think they're worms, so you're probably good. Alright, so yeah, guys, we're gonna try that again now that I've got more move speed. Ow. Okay, you say that like that's a bad thing for them to be worms. Do I need to change one of my luckies into quick? Let me just change everything into quick. Everything's going quick. Where I have 9, so I'd say it would be bad. Okay, but you're one of those that thinks that that's bad. I'm not. So what I'm doing, guys, is I'm changing all of these to quick. Because supposedly you can actually outrun this guy. Nope, I'm not outrunning him still. What? Okay, no. Okay, so that strategy's not gonna work, turns out. Not this time. Let me change back up my accessories to stuff that's more better. Oh, wrong person. Almost sold the community. Oh, that's my lucky. Issue of skill. Yes, it is an issue of skill. I'm gonna lean for the Celestial Tracers as quick because that just makes sense. And that is quick. Let me get you back to... Or no. What? No. Menacing. Make you lucky awarding. Lucky? Need another warding. Okay. Okay. Alright, yeah, let's fight him again. Okay. Ow. He can hit me at that point, but I can't hit him. Because of course that makes sense. Of course it does, right? Totally makes sense. You should know the Ectomax are gonna be great. Yeah. On topic on the topic of giant worm bosses that are in pain to kill, the Hive Lore just got added to Helldivers 2 in today's update. Nobody's been able to kill one yet. Wow. Drake, because just remember, it's all downhill from here. Well, Drake, my hope is, alright, so my hope is that once I get, once I kill Devourer of Gods, I'll be able to combine some accessories, upgrade some stuff, get some better gear, get some better weapons, and maybe be able to stand a chance. It probably won't, realistically, be enough. So, here's the thing. From what I remember, and I could be 100% wrong, Yaron, I don't think was as hard on tier as Devourer of Gods is being. Exomax was a pain. And then also Supreme Witch Calamitas was a pain. And all of that was on not even expert mode, I think. From what you hear, Escal isn't as bad as Exomax. Yeah, and I think you can practice on Calamitas clone for a bit if you want an easier thing to test on, but I mean, yeah. Technically, you even need to use Calamitas Clone's drop to summon her. I'm gonna try with the Trident one more time. See how that works out. I should not have wasted my momentum. Did I just no-hit almost his first phase? I didn't technically no-hit because my, my belt did technically pop, but I didn't take substantial damage the entire first phase. That is crazy. He's doing something. Oh, no, he's just over there. Say what you will about this fight, but the song is so hype. Yes, it is. The song is hype. Okay, we got very close that time, guys. So stinking close. Okay, let me do something. First off, let me make sure there's no potions. Yeah, okay. Now I want to see Calamity potions. Or do you have that? Ooh. Oh. Hold on a second. Alcohol. That sounds so bad. One moment. Let me pop over here. I'll need 90 hallowed ore. Let me see something. I think it says decraftable. I think that's going to be with shimmer. Oh, please don't clip that. Oh, wow, Joshua. Wow. Okay, so let me explain what's going on here, okay? So the, Calamity adds specialized alcohols, which come with buffs and debuffs, and so now I just need to find alcohol to counteract the ones that I have. taken. I do not condone, just to be clear, I do not condone purchasing or brewing 90 alcohols to be used at one time. Just in case that was on anyone's list of curiosities about this stream. Did I run out of Starblight Soot? I ran out of Starblight Soot. I need to go get more Starblight Soot. I can't believe it. Joshua says, ironically, I barely drink. Never been drunk in my life because I've never passed my limit. Well, I've never drank sufficiently to... I don't think I've actually drank. That might have been, might be the case. Yeah, no, of course not. Either way. I have not tested what my alcohol limit would be, but I'm fairly certain that 90 glasses is above the medically recommended for anyone of any type of alcohol. I could be wrong, but I'm fairly certain. That is not what I meant to do. And I don't know how I just duplicated that somehow. Okay. Oh, because I already had the effect, probably. Yeah, no, that's alcohol poison. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, that's probably gonna be where we leave off for today. Mild shame I couldn't finish working with this so that I'd have all the things done, but when we come back, we'll be crafting some more buffs, or debuffs, whatever you want to call it. Solution to beating the evil worm, alcoholism. Yeah, see, I'm thinking maybe just for this fight. Wow, okay. So yeah, when we get back, we'll be fighting the worm. And making more alcohol, I guess. Don't know if we have a choice in that. So, until next time, folks, farewell.